Hello, everyone. We are live. We are live and talking about how to stay in charge. This is mindset all around COVID-19. It has been probably the craziest week of my life, and I think you all can validate that sentiment because, you know, in the last 7 days, everything just turned, and it turned quickly. And here we are finishing up a work week in the midst of all that's going on. And hey, Leslie Miller, thanks for chiming in. Please ask questions, by the way. So let me share with you the purpose of this, and I'll drag it out a little bit to make sure that everyone can hop on. As I posted earlier, the purpose of this is to walk you through the blueprint and the framework for staying in charge of our thoughts at a time when it is nearly impossible, it seems, to do that. Because of everything that's in front of us, it's so much the challenge is that we are facing it every single day, especially with the media. And this is the blueprint that I've been using, that has been working for me and for my clients. And I want to share a little bit of that with you. And I also want to open this up to Q&A. So I'll walk you through a little bit of what this framework looks like, what the blueprint is of staying in charge no matter what the circumstances are. Hi, Jenny. Thanks for joining in. And then I want to open up for questions, because what I've concluded this week is that there are a lot of questions, and there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of uncertainty. I think that's might be the biggest piece, and that's the part that's been the most challenging for me, is the uncertainty surrounding what's going on. We don't know. There's a lot of unknowns. I was saying to a couple people this week is that my default mode, hi Jenny, has been my winning formula. Hey Anthony, thanks for chiming in, buddy. Is to wrestle the thing to the ground, to find out the challenge and then run after it and then tackle it and then beat it into submission. That's my winning formula. Winning formula has been for years. And what I learned through this framework and this blueprint is that that's not the surest way to success. And in this situation, hi Emily Anderson, I don't have anything to tackle either, so that doesn't work. And what I want to share with you is what is working for me and what has allowed me. I don't have the answers either, but it has allowed me to stay calm and stay focused and have a little bit of serenity through all of this, even though some would rather have me go on the other side of the fence and cross the line and then start talking about it and become emotionally involved in it. Let me share something with you that came my way today, and I thought it was one of the best explanations to show the contrast between what's going on. Lance Miller was he's one of my mentors for public speaking. He was one of Toastmasters world champion of public speakers. So he wrote today that there are two situations at play. Number one, there's a situation of coronavirus and its mortality. By all accounts, this is a real threat that needs real action. In order to protect our populations, we need to follow what health and government experts recommend or mandate to safeguard ourselves and others. So what he's saying here is that it's important to understand what are the facts and what are the opinions. So the other thing that's at play here is that then there's the frenzied hysteria created by such a threat. It's easy to see why this would occur, because coronavirus is an unseen and undetectable enemy. It's everywhere. It is, and at the same time, it's nowhere. Reports claim you can be infected 2 to 3 weeks before you even know it. There seems to be little we can do to ensure our safety except to retreat and hide. It's like a plot from a science fiction movie of corona zombies. So we have choices here. We can worry ourselves into a frenzied hysteria, or we can look at facts versus opinions. Facts versus opinions. So let's look at some facts. This is helpful for me to see these facts today. Facts. Here are some facts. 99.99997% of the world's population is not infected. Fact number 2, there is no food shortage. Fact number 3, there is no water shortage. Number 4, there is no toilet paper shortage. Facts, not opinions. It is a fact that our political leaders are taking unprecedented measures to stop any spread of the virus. However, these measures are based on opinion of what could happen if the virus is not contained. It is better to err on the side of caution in this matter. So it's important to understand that there are things being done to help us. Hi, Christy. Thanks for joining in. Colleen, thank you. So we're talking about facts versus opinions. So now we have some facts. So a solution is one that I'm recommending. We're all paying attention to the news enough, but there is the undeniable, irrefutable concept here that there's something in that. They will continue to share the stories with us as long as we continue to tune in and let them know that the revenue that's generated from said news is helping boost their ratings. And it's perpetuating. So if we stop watching, hey, Kadeen, nice to see you. If we stop watching, then the ratings go down. But the more we watch, and get this too, psychologically, we all know this, or at least we've heard it at least at one point. Hey, Grant. Hey, buddy, nice to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in this Friday afternoon. If we stopped watching, the ratings would go down. We know this. You read this stuff, right? It's been known for 4,000 years, in fact, they figured this out. Hi, Colleen. So if the ratings go down, they can't have that. It's a business. Media is business. So they know psychologically that we are hardwired, our brains are wired to pay attention to the negativity. Hey, Brent. So we're glued to it, and they know that. So the more they feed us, the more we're going to be pulled into it. And it keeps on going and going and going. So let's just say, for example, they stop the media, and they decided that they're going to start showing cute, cuddly puppy dogs instead. Cute, cuddly puppy dogs. Everyone would walk away from the screen. It's uninteresting. It's not scary. It's not fear-based. It's puppy dogs. Or how about the story of all the wonderful things that are going on in the world? Let me share that real quick here. What I'm observing, this is my observation, is that everywhere I turn, I am seeing acts of kindness. Everywhere. In the grocery store, people are being so kind to each other, so caring, so concerning. People to solve this and to work. Sorry, my my wife was calling me. Hold on, am I still online right now? Someone wave at me and tell me if I'm still online. It looked like I was off. Okay, I think I'm on. So that's what I'm observing. And yet, the media would have us thinking otherwise. Thank you. All right, we're still on. Good. So I had not an aha moment. I had a moment this week where I was, yeah, Katie, that's because we see acts of kindness when we're looking for acts of kindness. That's it, right? Seek and ye shall find. So I had a moment this week. I came in my office, and I'm in Cascade here, 4,000 square feet. Hey, Julie, and I was there. My team's here in and out, but I was by myself this one particular day, and I just looked around, and I had a moment. It just overtook me, and I realized how real this is. And I sat down in a chair and just sat, and I just got still, and I was sad. I was saddened by what was going on. And then I realized that I've got to flip the script. I have to be a rock. I have to be solid. I have to be a leader for my family, for my team, for my community. I have to be someone who can be relied on and trusted to not freak out. So, they say that you default to your level of training. So that's what I've chosen to do, is to default to my level of training. My training comes in the form of this blueprint that I've shared with you. And this is not in an effort to deny what's going on. You have to understand, we can observe it all we want. Hey, Diva Marie, nice to see you. It's been a long time. And that's what everybody's doing. So I'm choosing to take the 5% path, acknowledge what's going on, help everybody that is in my peripheral, and then at the same time, focus on what I am wanting. What is it that I'm wanting to see at the end of this? Thinking from the end. Thinking from the end, not to the end, which means we have to think about the end result. This is like goal setting in a way. So let me share this with you. Before I do, one piece that is critical here, and you may not want to hear this, is if you are interested in being able to thrive and survive in these times and show up in your worlds the best versions of yourselves. Can I get a wave on that? Does anybody want to give me a thumbs up on that one? Show up right now in these troubled times, because here's the thing, like when we look back at this event, if you're on video or you're sharing and you're remembering back, there you go, Emily, thank you, is how do you want your children to remember how you conducted yourself during these times? Hey, David, nice to see you. How do you want your children to remember how you, because it's all going to be recorded. It's going to go down in the annals, unlike the other things that have gone on in the world. How do you want that to be? And how do you want your community to remember how you stood up and you were a leader? Is it just to observe what's going on in the news and just freak out? Or is it to be a rock solid contributor to a result that is better than what we're seeing right now? So here's a piece I'm not sure you're all going to want to hear, is if you don't have a solid morning ritual, now is the time to develop one, and develop one quickly. And here's why. You all heard about the Miracle Morning. We all know that Hal Elrod wrote a wonderful book titled The Miracle Morning. Gosh, I think about 10 years ago. And that book rocked my world and changed my life. And the reason is because if we start our day with a solid foundation of personal growth, connection with our spirit, with our higher self, getting clear, getting connected, adding knowledge, praying, meditating, reading, exercising the mind, the body, and the spirit, and you spend an hour and a half on that every single day, and then you go off in the world, think about what you're bringing to the equation. You're bringing the highest version of you. The highest version of you. And it's understated what endorphins do for you. Some people think I'm a crazy man, like I'm running around and I have high energy, and sometimes it's a little bit much for people to bear. But those that know me know where it's coming from. I have high energy. I get up early every single day with one firm commitment: be the best version of myself for my family and my team and my community and the world and my clients, so that I can leave a legacy, I can make an impact, I can have a mark, and that I'm making a difference here. And that solid morning ritual is so key. If you guys ever want to know what that looks like in my world, you don't have to duplicate mine, but just send me a message. What does your morning ritual look like? It works for me, and yours just needs to work for you. You don't have to follow it exactly. There should be something in place so that you can start your day off. And I don't know that anything else matters as much as that right now. So we got that part down. The second part we want to talk about then is we're getting into the idea of our thoughts and how our thoughts run wild. And I shared earlier today that when we get off in a thought process and it starts to go. So an example would be waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. This is me. Full transparency here. This is me being absolutely raw and real with you. When I wake up in the middle of the night, at 2 o'clock in the morning, it seems like 1:40 is like this witching hour. I don't know what the hell that is, but hey, Emily, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. And I wake up, and the thing is I can't do anything about it because I'm in bed and it's late, and I don't want to get up. It's too early to get up, and it's too late to, So then I start the thought process going. What if? What if? What if? Oh my God! What if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? So I have to calm the mind, so I know what that feels like. But the thing is that one thought connects to the next. And I posted on that today. One negative thought connects to the next negative thought. Emily, yeah, right? And it keeps on going. And then we think about one thing that could happen, and then it spirals, and then it connects. So think about like connecting dots together. Those are our thought processes. And the problem with that is that they're projecting out into the future. Now, you don't need to believe me on this. There's plenty of research that backs this up, and I can tell you from firsthand experience that this is a pre-paving process. We pre-pave our lives with our thoughts, and so one negative thought connected to the other, we're just pre-paving a series of events that we've strung from one to the next. We're just paving that right out there. What if this? What if that? Oh my God, I can't, and all of that. Now, let's reverse that. This brings us into the image of the mind. Deborah Fox, hi. So listen, if you've never seen this before, you're probably, if we're gonna be on Facebook together and you're watching anything I'm going to share, is this image. Now get familiar with it because it's gonna help you. This is the image of this is called the stick person image. And the reason, it's simple. It's like a cartoon, right? Hey, Deborah. So what's magical about it, it came out by Dr. Thurman Fleet in the 1930s to give us an image of the mind. The conscious mind on top and the subconscious mind is below. The subconscious mind is the emotional mind, and the conscious mind is the thinking mind. And so you can see that all these antennae up top is what we bring in information with. So right now, it's a lot of seeing and a lot of hearing, but it's our sights, it's the sounds, it's the smells, the tastes, and the touches. So there's probably not a lot of emotional attachment to smells or to feel, like our senses, but there is to what we're seeing and what we're hearing right now. So we bring the information in. I have a coin, you can see that, and on there, at the very top, look at that, it says the road to ruin. It's important to know this. On the other side it says, and it's actually the road to ruin says the universal poverty strategy, and I'll share with you why in a second. But the reason why this is so important to look at this stick person and understand what this is that when we become emotionally involved in an idea, oh, thanks, brother. Scott Vogel. My friend Scott Vogel, if you guys know Scott, yes, you do. He is the Nothing Bundt Cakes owner, and he's a good friend of mine. He just dropped off some bundt cakes right outside my door, like a little, not a little, but an awesome, hey Julie, an awesome Santa Claus. So thank you, Scott Vogel of Nothing Bundt Cakes, doing wonderful things. See, this is an example of this. He just drove away. You can probably see his car. But this is an example of people doing awesome things for other people at a time when we need it the most. And if you seek, you will find. So amazing. So where was I? Hey, Jim Cagle, nice to see you, buddy. So back to the stick person. What we think about and we emotionalize. And that's why it's important to have big goals. I was sharing this with a client earlier. If we have a big goal, a big driving force that we're emotionally involved in, we're doing the same thing. We're thinking about it, we're becoming emotionally involved in it, and we're impressing that. Those lines represent impressions on the subconscious mind. And subconscious mind is in every cell of the body, which puts us into massive action. Getting into the frequency of this is getting into the spirit of it. So I'll just bring this down to our level for a minute here, is when we are emotionally involved in any idea and we impress that upon the subconscious mind, that puts us in a state of vibration. And how we're vibrating is how we're not only attracting things to us in the universe, but also how we're interacting with other people. Some people tend to attract great things to them. People, circumstances, events, ideas come to them because they're in the frequency of what they want. We can only attract to us whatever we are in vibrational harmony with. And that's what this is all about. So consider the doomsday, all the news running, the media, how bad this is, and oh my God, the deaths and all that. If we become emotionally involved in that, then we're running that show. We are, it's the road to ruin. It's a universal poverty strategy. Now, why it's called the universal poverty strategy? Because if I become emotionally involved, I use my senses, my 5 senses, my sight, to observe. For example, let's just talk about finances for a minute. It's a big topic. To observe what's going on financially, if it's not something that's pleasing to me, and I become emotionally involved in that, I'm going to impress the lack side of the equation on my subconscious mind. See, every topic is really two topics. It's like two sides of a stick, one side and the other. Let's just say this is financial well-being. There's the lack of it, and then there is the having of it. So every subject is really two subjects. So you're impressing the wrong side of that on the subconscious mind, and then that puts your body in a state of vibration. And when you do that enough, it's actually suppressing it, the negative emotions to the body, which then turns your body into a state of dis-ease. Don't ever say disease, it's dis-ease. It's a body that is not at ease. It's just like the same thing, the stick. We have ease, we have the lack of ease, and we have ease, right? So two sides of the stick there. So impressing the subconscious. Then how would we go how do we show up in the world if we have impressed upon the subconscious mind enough negativity and enough dwelling in what is? But Kevin, it is what is, right? Yeah, I agree. We talked about that. I just read you some facts. We already know the deal. But I'm not going to become emotionally involved in it. I'm instead going to project out what it is that I want. That's right, Deborah. You got it. Exactly. Scarcity and abundance mentalities. Absolutely. I'm going to project out and hold firmly on the goal that I had before this whole thing started and just ratchet my attention on that and not worry about this stuff in the middle. I'm still going there. By doing so, I'm putting myself at the end state and it's drawing me to it. And more importantly, the people, the circumstances, the events that are showing up in my life, and I don't know how that's supposed to happen. That's not my work. That's God's work. But I'm putting myself in that end place for my family, for my companies, and I'm visualizing myself there and holding firm. That's what I'm choosing to become emotionally involved in. I'm becoming emotionally involved with thinking about how many people are doing such good things. That's why 3 minutes ago, Scott Vogel of Nothing Bundt Cakes dropped off a box of bundt cakes at my window. You see that? What you seek, you will find. And I just told you that we don't even know how it shows up in the world. But if you're looking for it, you will find it. And if it comes in the form of a box of bundt cakes, awesome. Maybe it comes in the form of helping somebody. Maybe it comes in the form of observing someone else do something kind for someone else. So that's the universal wealth strategy versus the universal poverty strategy. The universal wealth strategy is when we observe, we pay attention to what we don't want. We see what the current situation is, but then we ratchet our attention on what we want. For example, if it's finances, what the amount of money we want, we would go towards that and shift our thoughts. So the process of pivoting in this example, what's going on today is saying, I get it. I know what's going on. What do I want? Ratchet our attention on that, and then begin to become emotionally involved in that side of the stick, to use that analogy, in that side of the equation, because then we can impress it on the subconscious, and that's how we change our vibration and how we begin to attract what we want in our lives: health, wealth, prosperity, and perfect self-expression. And a box of Nothing Bundt Cakes outside the door, outside the window. And I'm actually hoping that somebody actually comes and takes it. Not because I don't want to put one of those in my shove one of those in my pie hole in 5 minutes, but because someone else needs it more than I do. That's how I feel about that. So that's the stick person concept. So let me bring this to you in one other way. Actually, let me do this. I want to open this up to Q&A right now, because if someone has a question and they're struggling with something, I want to open the forum up and just give this open platform, because this is my way of sharing and saying, okay, what are the concerns right now? I have my own concerns, and I'm working on myself so that I can be of massive value to everybody in my world right now, and you know who you are. So if there's who has a question that you'd like to throw up there that I can answer? Anything at all. Like, what is it? What do you do about this? What about this mindset piece? Tell me more about that. I'm open to answering. Just type it right in there. And while you're thinking of your question, I'm going to read something to you from the Money and the Law of Attraction. This is from Abraham material. So most people give the majority of their attention to whatever is happening. This is exactly right in their experience right now. Which means that if the results please them, they feel good. But if the results do not please them, they feel bad. But that is really going about life the hard way. If you only have the ability to see what is, then things cannot improve. You must find a way to look optimistically towards or forward in order to achieve any improvement in your experience. Well, there it is right there. And some people say that when I get there, I'll be happy. That's not a productive mindset, because unless you're happy, you cannot get there. When you decide to be happy first, then you will get there. Coming from, so it looks like we don't have any questions. I bet you we have questions. They're just not being asked. It's okay. Think of something, anything at all. that is going on right now in your mind or your heart or in someone that you know that we can address right here and now and get this on here, because this is going to be recorded as well. Okay, so we have suggestions coming our way from the news media and from other people. And Joseph Murphy, in The Power of the Subconscious Mind, he wrote this: the suggestions of others in themselves have absolutely no power whatsoever over you except the power you give them through your own thoughts. You have to give your mental consent. You have to entertain the thought. Then it becomes your thought, and you do the thinking. Remember, you have the capacity to choose. Choose life, choose love, choose health. I really like that. It's the idea that we have a choice in any moment to give meaning to anything. Hey, that's it. Deborah, thank you. Let's see what you have here. There's a lot of judgment and shame around people who are choosing to keep their business open. Ooh, hold on. Let me see what this is. This is it. Keep their business open, and others for going for a walk with a friend. I feel people are panicking and overreacting. Well, yeah. It's not the first time that's happened. You know, there's a sense of social responsibility too, and that's a real thing. And doing the best you can is the best that we can do. And so that's the thing. I mean, I'm in real estate, but I also have other businesses, and so I'm doing the best that I can with the information I have, so I can serve the best amount of people. Yeah, it's a personal choice and common sense. So taking the information, the facts, sticking to the facts, not opinions, and then making decisions around that. Clearly not doing anything that's going to put anybody in jeopardy. At the same time, serving a client that has a need is first and foremost. Serving a family member or a friend or a member of the community, and just keeping that all in our awareness. But I would say that there's no room here. There's no room here. I don't know what you mean, Deborah. Panicking, buying. Why? Tell me what you mean by that. But there's no room here for judgment at all. Judgment is ego. That's our ego. Basically, anytime we judge, scarcity mentality, panicking, buying. Julie says, focus your energy on what you can do, not being drawn to negatively focus on others. Yeah, exactly. But anytime we judge anybody else, whether it's in now or right now, oh yeah, right, in the stores, oh my gosh, yeah. So that's panicky, that's a lack mindset, running out and buying all the stuff from the stores and not keeping anybody for your neighbors, or keeping anything for your neighbors. But anytime we're judging, we're using, it's our ego talking, because there's a basic premise there, an assumption that person should be doing something the way that you view the world, and the way that through your lens. Well, my lenses are based on my worldview and my life experiences, where I grew up, what I learned, what I am learning, my family, what's important to me, my values, all of that. So what they're doing is their own business. We have enough to focus on. Just get real with yourself. Focus on yourself. Be the best version of you. And you know what? I posted this morning. We can't hold two thoughts simultaneously in our mind. So consider this: whenever we are judging, we're holding that is the thought that we're having in our mind. But for the other example is whenever we are thinking about gratitude, what I'm grateful for, like really grateful in this moment. I am grateful for those of you here watching, those of you on my team. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my community. I'm grateful for our government doing the best they can with the information they have. I'm grateful for Scott Vogel dropping off those buntini. What are they called? Buntlets? Buntinis? You know, I don't know what they're called, but I know how to put them on my face. That's right. Grateful for all that. So as I'm in the state of gratitude and really I'm getting emotionally involved with gratitude. Hey, Tana, I can't simultaneously be worried. You see that? Like those two emotions don't exist. And we can't solve a problem from the level of consciousness in which it was created. And I think that's one of the greatest things that we can know, because it gives us the power. If we want to solve a problem, we can't do it from a state of lack and limitation and scarcity. I can't run out and solve a problem if I'm freaking the hell out. You see that? You got to calm down. We have to calm it down, focus on what we want. Give our attention to that, become emotionally involved in the idea of what we want, not what we don't want. It's a process of pivoting. It's a pivot. Oh my God, this is the thing I'm afraid of. Bunt cake. Oh, hold on here. This is it. You have a question. I found I'm feeling unafraid and positive with what we can do to help. You know what? Because, Emily, you are becoming emotionally involved in the idea of helping other people. That is so powerful. And you can't hold two thoughts simultaneously in your mind. If the waking up in the morning, working on yourself, developing that super strong, solid morning routine, and thinking about how I can be of service to my family, my team, my clients, the community, and the world, there's no room for anything else. Shouldn't you be freaking out? Yeah, I don't know. No, there's no room for that. It's all, how can I help? How can I be of service? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Do you have any ideas? Let's collaborate. Let's fix this. Let's do the best we can with what we have. And if anybody's judging, it's because they are not spending enough time working on themselves and thinking about how they can be of service. And because they don't have the tools, they just default to their level of training. And their level of training, unfortunately, was handed to them by someone else. Well-meaning people, but consider that we were all programmed between the ages of 0 and 7. Is when our subconscious minds are wide open, we are downloading information from our environment. It's where we developed our self-image. Our self-image is our concept of ourselves. If we're carrying that with us all the way into our adulthood, then when it comes to times like this, we're going to lean on that training. The training is the programming. It's running behind the scenes. Jesus said, forgive them, they do not know. It's a good mindset, right? They don't know. Don't judge back, but understand they're doing the best they can from their level of awareness on what to do. So the best that I can do is be the best version of myself by waking up earlier, by working on myself every day, by gaining knowledge, by reading, by meditating, by getting still, by getting centered, by exercising my body so I have a release of endorphins that lasts me all the way through the day so I can carry that all the way into my family when I come home and see them, and then also being of service. I can't be of service. Get this. I can't be of service if I'm tired. I can't be of service if I'm tired. If I'm exhausted and I don't have the energy. You ever like try to do something if you're super exhausted? For me, it feels like everything is like, it's like pushing a noodle. Just kind of like, like everything it just doesn't go anywhere. It's hard. So the more energy you have, the more you're going to feel like it, you know? Otherwise, you got to force yourself to do something you don't feel like because you don't have the energy. So take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. It's like the airplane analogy. What are you doing to not feel isolated? Oh, that's a good one. So I'm going to answer that question. Hey, Colleen, nice to see you. You make me laugh every single day. So thank you for your contribution to my well-being. Laughter. Oh gosh, darn it, Emily, now I forgot what it was. Oh, put the mask on yourself first in the airplane so that you can take care of yourself. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the person next to you. So what am I doing to not feel isolated? Cabin fever. Go for a walk. I'm in here, I'm in the office right now, and I know, I'm breaking the rules. That's all right. There's no one within 6 feet of me, right? So doing a little bit of that. And I think the other thing that I've been doing as well is to really realize it's helpful to know there isn't black without white. There isn't light without dark. And there isn't like this thing that we're going through. Like, think about what other people have dealt with. Think about the Holocaust, and think about those that were holed up in an attic, in places in hiding forever and ever and ever. That's good, Julia. Virtual happy hours. I love it. I think I'm going to do one very, very soon here. But think about what others have gone through, like enduring really, really, really tough things. So the fact that I can't just walk in and sit down at the local watering hole, woe-is me. Or I can't run down. Emily, what are you talking about? I'm at your desk. I'm not. But it seems really bad, but only in contrast to what we're used to. But when we contrast it with things that other people have gone through, and so I think that I had this realization this week too, is that what seems so hard for us is actually a day in the life of someone else. So consider leaving your hut and walking barefoot, cold, in the dark, 2 miles one way to fetch a bucket of water from a dirty river so that you can bring it back to your family and they can drink the water that is tainted by animal feces and you all get sick, but you got to go back and get it again. So think about that being the day in the life of every single day. So here we are in a place where we don't get to leave our homes and we should be quarantined and we can't go out to our local watering holes and restaurants, but everything is all about contrast. It's all about contrast. So does anybody have any more questions before we wrap? Now listen, if you have a question for me or would like to chat about any of this that we shared, I'm going to leave something with you too, by the way. But send a message to me, okay? It's either on like, what does your morning routine look like? Shoot me a message. I'm going to share this with my giving up control of your routine and shifting to a new routine, finding gratitude in all aspects. Yeah. Right, totally. You know what, Julie, because our schedules have shifted a little bit. We have kids at home, and so my evening routine is different. My morning routine is a little bit different. Everyone's like sleeping in, so I gotta like mix things up a little bit and get up a little bit earlier one day, and the other day my alarm didn't go off, so I had to adjust for that. So yes, it's being absolutely pivoting in that. Pivoting in what your schedule is and just making whatever works for you, right? Exactly right. Thanks for sharing that. Message below. I'm going to share this on my Yoda results page. In there, you can also ask me questions, but if you want to schedule a call with me, click on that link. We'll hop on the phone 15 minutes, and it could be anything at all. What you're struggling with, what your questions are, if you want to know how more to implement this blueprint in your life so that it's a staple and not a flash in the pan, if it's something that you want to be able to use now and tomorrow, in a year from now, in any good, in the good times and the bad times. In bad times, that term is highly subjective. I'll leave you with this, but please feel free to chime in with questions you have. Is the last chapter of As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. It's wonderful. It's called Serenity. And he writes, calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It's the result of long and patient effort in self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience and of more than an ordinary knowledge of the laws and operations of thought. And the last thing that he says here is tempest-tossed souls, wherever ye may be, understand whatsoever conditions ye may live. Know this, in the ocean of life, the isles of blessedness are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal awaits your coming. Keep your hand firmly upon the helm of thought. In the bark of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does not sleep. He does but sleep. Wake him. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace, be still. James Allen, As a Man Thinketh, the last chapter. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. So if anybody has any questions or wants to wants to go deeper into these things, send me a message. The morning routine is critical. Pivoting your thoughts. When you're thinking a thought and you're running off the rails on that negative thought, just stop. Take a deep breath and observe it. We literally can observe it. It's what separates us from the animals. And it would look something like this. Oh, there I go again, thinking negative thoughts. What do I want? Oh, I know, I want that. And then you start to become emotionally involved in that thing. What is it I want? Health, wealth. They're thinking about that, processing what is so great about the health, what is so great about the wealth, what is so great about the prosperity, what is so great about what we're gonna do, what am I gonna be doing when this is all over? I tell you what, we're all gonna be doing. We're all gonna be a lot more grateful for the stuff that we have in our lives every single day. That's for sure. We take it all for granted, and that is not becoming more evident than right now. The ability to hop in your vehicle and drive to your friend's house or go down to the restaurant or go to the bar, whatever it is that you fancy. Those basic rights that we felt were so inherent have been stripped from us, and now we're left wondering, OMG. That's exactly right. Go over to, so this is my personal page. I like to share here when it's something that I can help you with and leave you with the impression of increase, one of my favorite sayings. Hey Matt, how you doing, buddy? And so I also have my Yoda results page, which is my consulting page for my consulting business, and there I go. A lot of times I'll take this and I'll go deeper with it, and then open it up there, and I'll even share stuff for an hour sometimes. But feel free to go over to my Yoda Results page, and if you have questions, please send them in the message me below. But also you can schedule a call when you go to my website, which is yodaresults.com. You can schedule a call with me there, and I'm here to help you. And we're going to get through this. This too shall pass. It doesn't seem like it, does it? It seems like it's just going to go on forever. I've had those thoughts like, oh, come on. Can't it just end tomorrow? But you know what? We don't know when it's going to end. So we have a choice. We can choose one end of the stick or the other. And I think we all know what we need to do. It's just a matter of shifting our thoughts in that direction. And I love what Joseph Murphy in The Power of the Subconscious Mind. Choose life, choose love, choose health. That's right, Deborah. This too shall pass. So I'll leave you with this. As we head into the weekends and we're back with our families, choose. We all have the capacity to choose. Choose life, choose love, and choose health. And choose right thought. All the best to you. And God bless. Until next time.